One interesting example is the prediction in the Bible of a 1,000-year reign of Christ upon the earth, what is often known as the Millennium. Now, historically speaking, this belief was allegorised. Certain church fathers like Augustine allegorised it. It was allegorised by the reformers. Famously, John Calvin labelled all those who believe in a literal millennium as not knowing what they're talking about, as speaking folly. And today, there are a lot of Christians who believe that the millennium is an allegory. It's just talking about the church age in general. And there are lots of Christians who believe the millennium is a real 1,000-year reign of Christ, which will happen at some point determined by God in the future. Now, often the accusation is made that the belief in a literal millennium that will happen in the future is a modern construction, a modern invention. Men like Schofield or Darby invented it and popularized it, especially in certain parts of North America. But we know that's not true. And one of the reasons we know it's not true is because historically we see people like Calvin condemning people for believing in. History was written by people who didn't like this doctrine, but they mention people who did like that doctrine in the process of condemning them. So the opposition of this to this doctrine wasn't written in a vacuum. It wasn't written against nothing. It was written because people at the time still believed in the future 1,000-year reign of Christ. So we know the doctrine wasn't invented in modern times. We know that there has been consistently people who have believed that Christ will return and establish his kingdom for 1,000 years before the end of this age.